Yo, what is up, guys? James or Indet Satsu coming at you with the very first podcast to be named. I'm here with my co-host Brandon.
What's going on, guys? I am Index Plague. That's what everybody knows me in game as. My name is Brandon. I am the co-owner and founder of Index Esports.
And I'm the other half of that, co-owner, founder. What's your first topic you got?
How we got to esports?
How do we get to esports, as you said?
How we got into it? Like how do we
Oh,
discover it?
you want to start or you want me to start?
You could start.
Okay, so for me, it was sophomore year of high school. There was this kid in my high school named Jay, and he had this team at the point, and pretty much he was doing competitive Call of Duty like GBs and stuff like that and whatnot. And I wanted to get into like a Call of Duty team for like sniping and that, and he showed me the how do I say it, the competitive side of Call of Duty. So I started watching like on YouTube little clips here and there, and then eventually I found out about Phase and Optic and EU and all of them, and I've just fell in love with the sport and all that. Been a big fan ever since. But yeah, so pretty much it was sophomore year. Was watching esports. Was watching. I think it was FaZe vs Optic in Black Ops 3. It was the ending of Black Ops 3.
Okay.
And so pretty much it was the FaZe vs Optic and like champs, I believe. Yeah, it was champs. And Optic had just smacked FaZe. I got really upset because I was a FaZe fan at that point. Then that's what put me onto Scump and Former and Crimsits and all them goats. Going into IW, wasn't really a big fan of like the actual game of IW, so I stuck more to MW4 or not MW4. Oh my god, COD 4 remastered. But I did watch the Pro League for that. Um, Once again, Optic destroyed. How about you?
Um, Real quick, I actually didn't even know that you were a FaZe fan. How long were you a FaZe fan for?
Um, it started with like the YouTube side of FaZe, like the Twitch shadows and all that, with like Blaziken, Rain, Apex, Adapt, and all of them. And
Okay.
then that was my freshman year going into sophomore year. And then when I met Jade, he told me that FaZe had a pro team. I was like, yo, what? And that was the OG team with Cracer, Enable, Attach, Zuma, those four.
Okay. That
And,
that, wa- that was a good team. That was a very good team.
yeah, that team was gold.
I've always been an Optic fan.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll expand a little bit into that. How I got into it. So it started in Black Ops 2. Uh, I used to be a sniper. Me and my friends, we'd just snipe for fun. Tried to see who could get the best clips and stuff like that because we were fascinated with sniping. And there was like a little like local online tournament that one of my friends, his like close friend was hosting, and they actually invited us as a team to play. And I didn't know anything about competitive, the rule set, what guns you could use, or anything. So it was like completely new to me. And they were like, "Yeah, you can use regular weapons. You could use whatever you want, pretty much. Obviously within like the rule set that was current at the time, but we went in to the tournament, and we were the sniper kids of the tournament, so nobody did much out of us. And I want to say there was 8 teams in it, and I think we may have lost 2 maps out of it because every series was a best of 5, and I think we lost maybe 2, 3 maps out of the whole thing. We absolutely ran through everybody. Nobody was really expecting us to do anything, so I think that the underdog mentality really helped us. But that's how I got introduced to it, and I pretty much have just fallen in love with it ever since. Pretty much soon after that, I had found out about Optic and like how Call of Duty was like kind of like this like own little like niche group of like pro players and stuff like that, and it wasn't really big at the time because Black Ops 2, there wasn't a lot of following for it. There wasn't a lot of funding at all, so I fell in love with it because I always kind of liked that type of story, you know, something that's, you know, up and coming, and you know, I saw the potential in it, and I just fell in love with it. And I've loved Optic because they're from Chicago, and obviously I'm from Chicago as well. You know, nobody will really know that, but I am from Chicago, so fell in love with them. And at that time, that team was Merc, Nadeshot, Scump, and Big Timer.
Ooh, the
When I
OGs of
started watching,
Optic.
yeah, like so it was a long, you know, because 3 out of the 4 people on that team have retired since.
Nate Shot being that he owns 100 Thieves.
Yeah, he's making excellent moves for just for esports in a whole.
Yeah, he's one of the like big marquee names for representing esports in general.
Yeah, without a doubt. We'll actually we'll touch on that in another episode.
Yes, sir.
But getting back to it, so pretty much after Black Ops 2 was Ghost, and I didn't play that. I didn't like the game. I stayed with Black Ops 2.
Hold up, you didn't like Ghost?
At the time, I didn't like it. Looking back, it was actually a good game. But
Oh.
I think just because that game following up Black Ops 2, there was no way that many people were going to like it.
Me personally, I loved Ghost. Ghost is one of my favorite games.
Looking back on it, I like it.
Yeah.
But at the time, I think that Black Ops 2 is such a well put together Call of Duty. And any Call of Duty to follow that and not follow the same structure that they did, to me it just wasn't as great. Which now I understand, you know, there's different aspects. You know, I was a naive teenager when that was happening. But during Ghost, I was still playing Black Ops 2. I had joined a team and played maybe 2-3 scrims. That team fell apart.
What was the name of the team?
It was Psych.
Psych.
Yeah.
I do not remember them.
So, I was on Psych. They fell apart, and then, me and my friends were just playing, we were just quick scoping against each other one night, and we were like, you know, maybe we should start a team ourselves instead of, you know, trying to join another team, and then we created Titanium.
Oh, I remember that. That was them old days.
Yeah, that one lasted a long time.
I remember
it fell apart for about a year or two.
I remember I got upset at you because fucking you wouldn't let me join that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Dude, we were little dickheads back then, but it's okay.
I mean, we was all little fucking 15-year-old teenagers at that point, not knowing what the fuck was happening.
Testosterone was flying around. High intensities then.
All them egos.
Oh, there's still egos flying around.
Oh,
in this
yeah.
team, but so I'm gonna add a little bit in here. I know it's not on what I wrote down, but kind of want to talk about what we've got going so far. So we are a newly formed organization, Index Esports. We'll probably put the channel link and the Twitter and like Instagram links and all that on the screen when you guys are seeing this. But so it's a newly formed organization with a competitive mindset at heart, no matter what we bring. Because I don't want to be just confined to Call of Duty, because that's what has made my time so stressful as trying to build up other teams. Is everybody always wants to start with Call of Duty and then branch out, and it's so hard because Call of Duty is such a small community compared to all of the other esports communities out there.
Actually, talking about it, Apex is starting up a 3-man esports league.
Really?
Yeah, that's gonna be really big for them.
That is going to be huge for the game. I think it's going
Hmm.
to bring a lot of player retention back.
Yeah, that game's died down a lot, especially because of like the meta in the game. It's pretty much just R99 spamming.
Exactly. I think with a couple gun balances, I think that game can be way better than Fortnite.
Oh
I don't know
yeah.
if you agree, but
When that game first came out, with like all the guns balanced and stuff like that, that game was better than Fortnite.
oh, without a doubt, I had streamed me playing Apex the first week that it was out, probably for at least 40 hours, and
Yeah.
I had pretty much only streamed Fortnite up to that point. But so um, we are currently working on building our roster for Call of Duty. It's a little bit difficult because typically when I have built a team, the players that I bring in, two of them are my close friends, but they're they absolutely shred on the game. Easily they could easily develop into young rising talent. They just need to see it in themselves first.
Mm-hmm.
But I always bring them in because they always have that fierce competitive nature in their hearts, and that's what we really need, and that's what we want to bring. Um, so usually they always want me to play because I am about ready to turn 20. So I've been playing Call of Duty since I was probably 11. So I have a lot more experience with it. So they always want me to be on the team because just the almost like a veteran presence that I can bring and like knowledge I can bring that they don't understand quite yet.
Yeah.
Uh, this time I'm not doing it. Simply because I don't have the time, especially with trying to run a team and run an organization.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't find the time. I'm also going to school full time, and I work about 30 hours a week. So I'm at my maximum right now with trying to get all of this done.
Yeah.
That I
We.
can't possibly be hopping on and doing scrims and doing eights,
Yeah.
playing wages and all that.
Yeah. When
But
we were trying to figure out like timing for this podcast between me and Ben, it took weeks for us to like actually get down on actual time and like when we was able to do this because we both technically go to school. I'm looking for a job. He's working, so it was just hard for us to like, actually like find the time to get down to the nitty gritty and pretty much put in time and to make content for you guys.
it's very hard, but um, depending on the feedback for this first podcast, most likely they'll be coming out every Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the day that I have off every week. So hopefully we'll be getting them out to you either once a week or once every other week, probably once a week. We'll have a lot to talk about, especially with this new COD League.
Mm. This college got me hyped, bro.
Do you wanna talk about that at all?
Okay, so pretty much with the new CDL league and the new format with franchising, as you guys know, me and Brendan are both from Chicago, so we both represent and are proud to root for the Chicago Huntsmen, which is heads a team with Scump, Formal, Arcides, Envoy, and Gunless, and it's pretty much one of the best teams ever constructed on paper for Chicago. Is putting a happy spot in my life with Call of Duty and whatnot because not a lot of people in Chicago associated with like Call of Duty and shit. And I feel like a team like this will bring a lot of people in new into it, like how Fortnite esports brought a lot of people into that, like with Ninja and that. But pretty much it's gonna be a good experience with like traveling between all the teams. There's what 12 teams in total so far.
Yeah, it's locked in at 12 teams for at least the first year.
Decent. But yeah, so if you want, me and Brendan are planning on going to the Chicago event. We might have a vlog up. You never know. How does that
Time.
sound?
It's going to be April 4th and 5th. But who do you think is the best team in the game?
Honestly, looking, because I did get a chance to watch the whole weekend. I know you didn't get a chance to. He was at work and
I
that.
honestly only caught the Dallas games and the Chicago games.
Yeah. Oh my God, that first series, the first inaugural series between Chicago and Dallas. Whew, amazing.
What a great way to open up the season.
That you couldn't have scripted it better, unless it was the L.A. Opted versus Chicago Huntsmen. That's the only way I could see a different match being played out first.
It was going to be one of those two matches first. Everybody should have seen it coming because of the names that are associated with Chicago, and then the bitter rivalry they have with both teams. I knew they were going to be playing both of them before the schedule even came out.
Yeah. There was no doubt they were going to be playing them at least once.
Yeah,
But
without a doubt.
But the way that Chicago's respawn is looking, it's looking actually absolutely amazing. The only teams that I think can honestly compete with them with respawns is probably FaZe. London does has a good respawn team, but I don't think they're up there yet. They could be. They got a lot of young talent. Chicago really needs to work on the S&D. I know that a lot because our first S&D against Dallas, we got fucking smacked. And can we just talk about how Dallas is 0-2 so far?
And how in the power rankings they're still ranked third.
Oh no, they were ranked sixth. I think. Like after that first weekend was over, they dropped from second to like sixth or seventh.
Oh, I saw in the power rankings that they dropped to third.
Nah, they dropped from like second to like sixth or seventh after the last match with what was it, Minnesota and Optic was over. I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
They Nameless put out his new power rankings, and it was Atlanta, Chicago, and then all the way down at the bottom for seventh or eighth it was Dallas.
Damn.
And
I
Atlanta.
want to talk about the one shocker of the weekend. Paris Legion.
Oh, no. Didn't they 3-0 fucking who was it? London or some shit?
I don't remember who they threw. They may have 3-0'd somebody. I know for sure that they beat Optic 3-2.
Yeah, that was a big series for them.
That's yeah. They came in Nameless's power rankings. He had them at 12th,
That he had them dead last.
dead last, and now, as far as the power rankings that I have seen, they moved up to 5th.
Fifth, really? Damn.
Yeah. The power rankings that I saw on Twitter were Atlanta FaZe first, Chicago Huntsmen, Dallas Empire, I want to say the Royal Ravens, and then it may have been Minnesota, honestly. Because Minnesota had a decent weekend for the first homestand.
But pretty much going into the round series before anyone played, it was top three teams was supposed to be FaZe, Empire, Huntsman. Empire is 1-6 on maps so far. FaZe is what?
Yeah.
5-1? 6-1?
FaZe, who they play in their first match?
First match, who did they play? I think first match was Optic, I think.
Yeah, they're either 6-1 or 6-0.
Something like that. But
Yeah.
FaZe and I'm predicting right now, mark it down right now. Champs, Grand Finals, Chicago FaZe. With obviously Chicago taking it.
I can't put anything on it quite yet, because it's just the opening weekend, and as we've seen historically in Call of Duty, it's ever changing throughout the season on who gets better and who, because some teams get complacent.
Mm-hmm.
As we have seen as of late with, before this COD League with Optic.
The old Optic.
Exactly.
Bro.
They would start out hot, especially in Black Ops 4. Started out blazing at Vegas. I thought that they were not going to lose a single series, and then or not even a single series, just a single event, and they didn't win another event after that.
They was doo-doo.
Yeah, they did not look the same
No.
at all.
Honestly, it was surprising to see it wasn't surprising because you could see ever since World War II, the fall of Optic pretty much. And I don't really want to call it a fall of Optic, but it was a fall of Optic pretty much. That Scum didn't have a good year the last 3 games. He honestly said that World War II was one of his worst games ever. And
You think that Scump didn't have a good year for the past 3 years?
No. I'm saying in World War II.
Oh, okay.
After coming off of the jetpacks and shit like that, and coming back to boots on the ground, I thought it was he wasn't really used to it. But also that's the GOAT right there. That's the king, as he's well known.
Of course.
But honestly, I think he's found a good team to put around him. Bringing back Formal, but when I found out they had Formal back and Scump, bro, I freaked out.
I was excited because I knew that they had a deep. I wouldn't say deep because obviously we don't see behind the scenes. But from the outside looking in, it looked like they had a deep hatred for each other. And,
Oh yeah.
I thought that they would never team again, but clearly, if you guys have watched the campaign at all, I highly recommend that if you have not checked it out.
Mhm.
They have rekindled their friendship, which I'm very happy about, and it was also nice to know that pretty much right after Champs, Scump in his mind knew that he was playing with Formal no matter what.
Mhm. And then fucking with Artsy's fucking him and Gunless coming over from EU. Bro, that's 2 duos that have amazing chemistry. And EU just coming off of their ring too at Champs.
Yeah, but Gunless wasn't even on E United last season. He was on Luminosity.
Yeah, no, not last season. But they played before, him and RCDs played before.
Yeah.
Back when they were still in open bracket teams. So they knew each other from way back. And then you get Envoy too, the young gun coming into the match. Come on, dude, that's a killer team.
He is absolutely disgusting. But all right, let's get back on track. I
Yeah.
want to kind of just talk about the COD League a little bit and get your insight as to.
We'll save that for future episodes.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more in depth as the season goes on.
Honestly,
we'll probably have the episodes just dedicated to the league. So, since I talked about the competitive side of our organization, why don't you talk about the streaming side?
The content side, yes. My favorite part. So, me being a streamer, if you don't know, it starts at Twitch. Go drop a follow. But being a streamer, me personally, my mindset's more on the content side. So, YouTube, Twitch, the clips, the sniping feeds. Well, not mainly just for Call of Duty, for all games. Fortnite, Apex, Rainbow. But, for all that, content in general. My main job is to look for players that can snipe, trick shot, just hit nasty clips. Some motherfucking bangers. And also look for streamers that pull in a consistent viewership. So pretty much I do like the streaming, so I'm looking for pretty much snipers, trick shotters, people that can stream with like a consistent viewership. So if you want to do that, hit up our DMs. Our Twitter links will be in the description down below. Yeah, it's pretty much just looking for players to bring entertainment to our fans that will hopefully be loyal enough to stay with us through this tough process of starting out.
All right. So, next thing I want to talk about what we want to represent as a brand, what we like to bring to the scene or be able to bring. So, what we want to represent as a brand. Obviously, I want to have a. I don't want to say a family first vibe because it's not going to be like that.
No.
The way that I'm saying it though is in terms of when we get people to join, we're going to treat them like they are our family.
Mhm.
I want to make sure they're comfortable with the role that they have. If it's a streamer, a sniper, if they're on a competitive team, stuff like that. They understand their role, they're comfortable with it. And if there's any problems, that they come to me or they come to Jay, and we will get those problems taken care of swiftly. And just try to resolve any issues within before they blow up and things happen on social media.
Get out to Twitter.
Exactly. Just try to keep everything internal and try and solve it without the public having to know everything, because sometimes the public doesn't need to know certain things.
But hopefully it don't get to that point. So.
Exactly. But yeah, I want to kind of bring that family mentality to the table, because Hex is a big inspiration.
Mhm.
If you guys are watching an esports podcast, you most likely know who he is.
The Eavesdrop
so, yeah,
podcast.
I kind of want to bring that type of mentality to the table. And what I would like to bring to the scene, just a group of guys having fun and turning up while doing it. I mean, same thing with the streamers. I just want a group of funny individuals that that are even if they're not good at the game, they're funny and they bring entertainment value. That's what I want. Even with our streamers, even if they aren't good at a certain game, even if they bring that entertainment value, that's what I like to see. I've always had a knack for trying to entertain people and make people laugh. So, getting content creators like that or streamers, just whatever they can bring to the table and can further our brand and further theirs at the same time. We're gonna try and bring that in.
Like, we're gonna try to do whatever we can to help that person, that streamer, that content creator, that pro player, that sniper, that trick shotter, whatever it is, that player and that person in general grow as much as we're growing. Cause
Exactly.
it's a Triple H world. Homies help homies.
So now, on to the last question that I have written down, and then if we think of anything else, we can also talk about that.
Yeah.
Favorite Call of Duty?
Oh, favorite Call of Duty. I might get some controversy for mine. You want
what? Here, instead of just doing your favorite Call of Duty, give us your
top five, top three?
Top three.
Top three. Black Ops 2, in order, okay?
Okay. So 1 to 3?
Yes, 1 to 3.
Okay.
MW2, Black Ops 2, World War 2.
You're one of the Modern Warfare hype beasts.
What do you mean?
I don't know. See, I'm gonna definitely, get some people that are not going to like me, and if this gets put on YouTube, they're probably going to dislike it just because of my opinion. But I don't see all. Now, I do agree with a lot of the hype for Modern Warfare 2. It did a lot for the scene, just Call of Duty in general, not even competitive, just Call of Duty as a whole at the time. But I think it's one of the more overhyped games.
Well, for me at least, looking at it from my standpoint of like being a former sniper and now content creator, MW2. Wait, the MW2 came out before Black Ops 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah. MW2 pretty much started sniping, like that feeding, that trick shotting, sniping. Like yes, there was that shit back in like Black Ops
Modern Warfare.
Modern Warfare, but like Modern Warfare it started everything. But like MW2 was that game, that intervention, the Barrett, and that can never be matched. That intervention was just nasty.
I highly disagree with you with the sniping
Really,
aspect and how it can never be matched. I highly disagree with you.
I want to hear
I
this.
think that I think that if you look at two, now I hope you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you look at two different Black Opses, there are two snipers in two of the games that can easily rival the intervention and Barrett.
Are you talking about the DSR and the Ballista?
I'm talking about the DSR and the Ballista, and then in Black Ops 3.
Wait. Pre-patch DSR or post-patch?
Pre or post, they were both god tier.
Cause that's a big difference. Cause everyone knows pre-patch DSR most OP fucking sniper there ever was in Call of Duty.
Pre-patch DSR, yeah, it was like one of the most broken weapons in
Ever.
Call of Duty history.
Ever. That gun will go down in history as one of the best guns to ever be broken off of the start.
That and the post-patch Scar in Black Ops 2.
Oh yes, that Scar nasty.
Before they repatched it.
Sadly.
But, okay, so your top three are Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, and World War 2.
Yes.
Why World War 2?
Why World War 2? Me personally, that because I was a sniper that year. That was the year that I just started getting into streaming, so I converted over from sniping into streaming. At that point, World War II was honestly one of my best years for sniping. I hit like when we get our intro clips and all that, and our editors together, we're gonna be putting all those out. The amount of World War II clips I have is just nasty, dude. Like that's honestly one of my most played Call of Duty since like MW2. I have 24 days on that game.
Okay.
Compared
I think I top you with my second favorite game.
compared to Black Ops 4, I had 14 days or some shit like that.
Okay. Yeah, see, I liked Black Ops 4. I just don't think that it is a... I think it could crack the top 5, in my opinion.
Top 5, yes. Top 5, yes.
I don't think it goes higher than 5, in my opinion.
Me, personally, if it came down to the top 5, it would be those three, Black Ops 3, and then Ghost. Because I didn't like any... No, not Ghost. MW3. I didn't like any other jetpack Call of Duty. Advanced Warfare, obviously it goes Black Ops 3, Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare for the jetpack Call of Duties.
Really?
You don't think so?
No, I think Advanced Warfare was the worst jetpack game that we got.
Between that and Infinite Warfare?
You can play Infinite Warfare any day over Advanced Warfare.
Wow, that's crazy.
I was absolutely god tier at Infinite Warfare, but that's besides the point. We're getting a little off track.
Yeah. So your top 3.
My top 3. So my number 1 is Black Ops 2. As by this point, people could probably tell because I was talking a lot about Black Ops 2 at the beginning. So Black Ops 2 is number 1. Number 2, it's kind of tough because I always have the debate with people, and it kind of changes my opinion on what is my number 2 or what is my number 3. But I would have to say my number 2 is Black Ops 3.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see that.
It's so much fun playing that game, and I honestly thought that the sniping was the best sniping that we have seen in Modern Warfare 2. Just because, I mean, it was difficult to hit shots, but if you could hit them, if you Sorry, if you were good, you were hitting them.
That satisfaction of hitting them, bro. That hit mark sound. Oof.
Mm-hmm.
When you know you hit mark something big, dude, that just broke your
Exactly.
heart.
Exactly. And the the
That was
the
also
fear.
that was also a big year for trick shotting too.
Yeah, it was. The fear that you could put into your opponents just by them hearing an SVG being shot across map.
Oh.
I still think that it is one of the most terrifying sounds on a map because no
Mhm.
matter where you heard it.
Honestly, I say it's up there with the Springfield from World at War for the most terrifying sounds. Or the
Oh
PTRS.
yeah, and for anybody that's listening or watching this, I mean, there's not really much to watch, so whoever's listening to this, I'm not saying terrifying sound as in the one that sounds the most intimidating. It's just a sound that you associate with
A most iconic
what is
sound.
most or could possibly be death. Because there have been some guns in Call of Duty that sound absolutely menacing, and they shoot marshmallows.
Mm-hmm. The
Um,
post Pratt's Vesper,
the Vesper always sounds absolutely like it's going to rip your head off,
but it
and most
shoots
of the time
peas.
it is a very uncommon weapon.
Mm-hmm. Well, I could never get that recoil down.
I did in Black Ops 2, but that's the only game. All right, so back my number
Okay, you're number 3.
my number 3. It's kind of hard because I have a decent amount of games that I do enjoy playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd have to say my number 1 and 2 are far ahead of my number 3 spot.
Really.
Um, Strictly because I honestly don't even know why. I think it's just because I've been in love with Treyarch and the games that they make since Black Ops 2. Black Ops 1 I wasn't a huge fan of. At the time it was fun.
They
But I
fought
never
they
liked it for
fought
zombies. I
sniping.
never liked it for
Oh,
multiplayer. I think it was very one dimensional.
oh. Number 3 for you was you said.
I honestly, it's so difficult for me to like put numbers on it because like I know my top 2. It's Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, and
Mm-hmm.
then after that it kind of gets hazy. I'd probably, and people are gonna roast me for this, and I'll never hear the end of it. I'd probably say my third is Infinite Warfare.
Oh my god.
I honestly think it's either that or Ghosts because those two games get way too much hate for the quality that they gave.
I would say Ghost over Infinite Warfare. That's just me personally. I fucking hated Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare, that first weekend, I prestiged, I think, twice.
Bro, that first
On
weekend.
Infinite Warfare.
But that first weekend, oh my god, dude. Actually, I've
Because
gone.
throughout that whole year, people were trying to play that game like it was Black Ops 3 with the boosting mechanic, and
Mm-hmm.
they would get punished if you played against somebody that understood the movements. And I learned the movements, excuse me, within the first week.
Yeah, I honestly that was probably my problem was I was treating it a lot like Black Ops 3. But like,
So, I mean, it's honestly the same way that nobody liked, or I wouldn't say nobody, a majority of the COD community didn't like Ghosts came out was because it introduced different mechanics that we were not used to yet,
yeah, Ghost was the first year that introduced the leaning.
and the sliding.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that
because it
was the
used to be
first.
dolphin diving before that.
Exactly, yeah. So
Damn.
it was complete. It was a completely different
Movement
um
system.
movements that we had, and for if you're somebody that doesn't get those movements down right away and somebody else is using them against you, you're not going to like that game. It's the same reason why I don't like Fortnite. I'll admit that I don't like Fortnite because I'm not good at building. That's the only reason I don't like it. Because I don't like how I've always been the type of person that if I'm shooting at somebody, I don't think they should be able to build a 10-story tall fortress in 15 seconds.
I ain't gonna lie, that'd be me in Fortnite. I get shot at that, I instantly build.
And I'm not that type of person. I have the Call of Duty instinct where if I'm out in the open, I am going to turn around and try my damnedest to.
You gonna try and turn on them. That's the comp player in you.
I'd say about 75% of the time, I actually do it. There's that
Mm-hmm.
25% that I will miss, and then there's that 25% of the time when I'm shooting at somebody that they'll turn on me. But that's just because I'm washed now, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't play a lot. But that's my top three.
Okay.
I think I think Infinite Warfare gets a lot of hate because it was different, and people don't like change at the beginning. Kind of like people get mad at me when I say that Advanced Warfare is one of the worst Call of Duties that ever released, and people never understand why I say that. And it's strictly because I just don't. I think they could have done a lot more with the.
Mm-hmm.
They could have done a lot more with the movement system. I think the movement system was very lackadaisical. I feel like they just kind of threw that together in 10 minutes.
Well, I mean, you gotta think about it. It's the first jetpack game that, cause what was it, coming off of Ghost? People got really upset with the boots on the ground system and shit. They wanted something new, so they threw together Advanced
I
Warfare.
I understand that, but they had two. They actually, I think they had 2 to 3 years to develop their game. They came out with that, and
It's
then
a 2 years development period.
that was Sledgehammer, so it switched to 3 years.
Oh,
Or no, it's it. So yeah, the system switched to 3 years when they released Advanced Warfare. So you gotta reckon they had at least 2 years to develop it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because all the developers have at least 2 years to get their game, which they usually start right away, right after they release a game. Which means that either A, Black Ops 3 was already planning on being a jetpacking game, or they saw the so-called success of Advanced Warfare. I did play it a lot, I just didn't enjoy the game a lot. But they saw the so-called success of Advanced Warfare, and within 1 year, they made a better movement system and better map set than Advanced Warfare could ever wish they had.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you on that. Okay.
That's why I don't like it. I just think that the movement is too choppy, and people say that that's what set the skill gap apart, and I don't agree with that. I think that it was a lot easier for people that weren't that good to just jump around and kill you. In Black Ops 3, you had to hold those buttons down. If you literally just double tapped A in Advanced Warfare, you were at least 18 feet in the air.
True.
And you could just jump straight up and just destroy somebody. And you could dart side to side. I didn't like that. That's not Call of Duty to me.
Yeah, Advanced Warfare got a lot of hate because it did come off boots on the ground. But then going on 2 more years, you get Black Ops 3 and IW, probably one of the best, and up to you, fucking one of the best games, or one of your favorite games at least.
They
That
put out back-to-back bangers of games.
Okay, I wouldn't say all that now. They put out one banger during that time period, at least one.
I gotta say it's two.
We ain't gonna get into that right now.
We'll get into that in another episode.
Yes.
Alright, so that looks to be all the time we have for today. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a like and subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Follow the Twitch channel. Follow my boy.
Yes, sir.
Follow us on Twitter. We'll have all the links in the description. I hope you guys all have a great night, because as of right now of recording this, it is 9:30. Hope you guys all have a great night, and yeah, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Just thank you for tuning in for this whole entire thing. Drop us a follow, to like reiterating what he just said. Drop us a follow on everything. We appreciate it, and our community, our fans, well, family. So we'll love the support. Yes, thank you guys for listening.
Alright, this has been Index Plague and Index Socks with the first ever Index podcast. We'll probably rename it. But I hope you guys all enjoyed, and we will see you next time.